I think it's important that museums change lives because we know they can. And if we know they can do that, we have a responsibility to try our best to make sure that it happens in reality.
I believe that individuals and communities are far more resilient and liable to flourish if they have a greater connection with each other and a greater understanding of the environment. So well-being and sustainability are two really important things to create a good society for the future.
In particular, we know that museums can reach people in ways that nothing else in our society often can.
Museums are starting to think very differently about how they connect within their communities, establishing more mutual relationships with civil society groups, trying to measure their impacts in different ways, either through things like novel ways like social return on investment, or trying to value people's happiness through their experience with culture.
The things that people very often remember are the very special experiences they have in museums. For me, that experience from very early childhood was the wolfhound in the Ulster Museum in Belfast, which as a small child towered high above me initially. Gradually I caught up, but I've never forgotten the impact that creature had upon me, and many, many other museum objects as well.
Museums have had a big impact on me, primarily because I never used to go to them as a kid. My parents never took us to museums. They felt museums weren't for the likes of us. We did plenty of other good things like walks in the country, but I think their assumption was that museums were these gilded palaces of treasure that wasn't really for good, honest, working class people like us.
My experience as a classroom teacher and also then as an education officer in a museum is that a child can come in on a museum visit with a school and have that same inspiration, and the teacher will turn around afterwards and say that that child has been very hard to engage in the classroom, has been difficult to encourage them to talk in this kind of way. They've come into the museum and suddenly they've been different. They've been a different child.
In every organisation I've worked in, I've really wanted for people to see them as places for them, as that anyone has an entitlement to go into a museum.
And that capacity to change people and to provide memorable experiences that often can be a turning point really in their ideas about their own futures even, perhaps the career they would take, is something that museums can do especially well.